Yo, YouTube was in. It's your boy Frank Media, back with another video. As you already know, like I said in my latest video, I was going up there to go either empty the truck out or pick the truck up, whatever like that. But let me tell you how these people try to play with me, right? So, as I said before, I don't really too much like lease purchase programs, but some of them are pretty decent, which this one was pretty decent at one point. So, as y'all know, my truck broke down 2 weeks ago. I called a guy and tell him, like, hey, yo, defer the payments on my truck. He said, all right, cool. They had to go ahead and send it through. He came back to say, all right, we can't defer the first week's payment because your truck wasn't in the shop, which was false. The lady, first of all, came and said she couldn't find my truck in the system so that she couldn't put in a work order. All right, that's number one. Come around. I tell the dude, I said, well, why would I make truck payments on a truck that's been in the shop? That's what the deferment is for. So he like, even though your truck is in the shop, you should still be able to make the payments. I can make the payments, but why would I come out of my pocket to make the payments if that's what it says in my contract policy? If your truck is in the shop for more than 7 days, your truck can be placed on deferred payments. So when I brought that to his attention, all right, well, for the first week, are you gonna make the payments for that because it wasn't in the system? No, I'm not, because you're not about to take advantage of me. I know exactly what my policy say, what my contract say, and that's on y'all. So it comes down to this. I get a call. All right, Frank, truck ready. Come pick it up. Cool. I'm on my way. I got to catch a flight. So I booked me a flight going up to Kentucky. I get up there to Kentucky. They can't release my truck to me because warranty still hasn't cleared or confirmed the repairs done on my truck. All right, cool. So then the guy hits me back. Hey, Frank, we can't release that truck to you until you make these 2 payments. Once again, we just clarified this the day before. So why would I go and make the payments? All right. So he say you can't pick the truck up unless you make the payments. So me and him, we kind of go back and forth or whatever like that because he trying to justify how he trying to fuck me over. And I know what my contract say. I know how much is in my pocket and what I'm supposed to pay. Cool. He say, well, just take care of the tow bill. So you go from me making payments on my truck to me taking care of the tow bill. I wrote all this stuff down because at the end of the day, when it comes to shit like this, it becomes a lawsuit because what you put in these contracts, you have to stand on. So I have $19,000 in my maintenance account. No bullshit. After 2 years and 3 months, it's $19,000 in my maintenance account. Coming straight out the gate. You got to pay this for maintenance. You got to do that. You got to do that. You know what? Instead of doing that, double my shit. So that's what they did, and that's how I've been running. All right. If I got $19,000 in my maintenance account, why do I have to come out of pocket to pay for a tow? All right. He was like, you know what? Forget it. Don't even worry about it. At the end of the day, I feel like you've been going against me all morning and this and that. Hey, it is what it is. Say what you want to say. I take care of my responsibilities and I know what I'm supposed to pay and what I'm not supposed to pay. I got $27,000 in my escrow account. That's what they take out when they do the cent per mile. So mine was set at 56 cents per mile that they was taking out. I don't know how they do their calculations or whatever like that. But I got 27. And that's another thing they fucked up at. You told me how much money is in my maintenance in my escrow. All right, let's keep it going. So I'm up there. A lady called me. I'm like, all right, bet. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and send the payment just because she was being nice to me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and send her the 2 weeks payment. Say, fuck it. Get the truck. Take off. Get to the crib. I'll book loads next week. But then again, I'm going to look for another truck. Long Mountain give me a call. Hey, man, we got your app. blah, blah, blah. You can come and choose what truck, blah, 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 all this shit. It was actually a 2019 Kenworth T680. So I said, all right, cool. You know how much is the down payment, all that? You know, he was like, yeah, well, you can put down such and such. So I'm like, all right, bet, say less. I do that. I'd rather go pay truck payments once a month than have some once a week, even though I just paid for that truck. So I sent my payment in. Boom. I think it was, that payment was, he said the payment was for like $23.20 and some change. So I sent it. I'm like, all right, cool. Sent my payment in. So after I talked to her, the lady Tracy, I said, hey, man, I just, you know, I went on ahead and sent the payment, whatever. They gave me the little wiring. How you supposed to wire the money to him, all of that. He called me back 40 minutes later. Well, I just feel like since you wanted to give me a hard time, I don't feel like you capable of continuing the payments on this truck. So I said, hold it right there. You telling me after 2 years and some months, you don't even run this company. You might be a supervisor or whatever, but you have a boss too. So you mean to tell me, in your own personal opinion, you feel like I'm not capable of keeping up the lease of this truck when I have not missed one payment since I've been leasing a truck from y'all? The only time I missed a payment was right now with my truck being in the shop. He's like, but that's besides the point. No, the fuck it's not, because I also gave y'all $13,800 to move my truck to a different company. All right. Well, that doesn't justify such and such. I say at the end of the day, bro, you say what you want to say. If I knew exactly what your office was, you would have to tell me that face to face. Because as a man, you saying it over the phone, you pussy to me. You know, you no longer have respect. And, you know, he was like, oh, I'm a what? Yeah, you pussy. You know, at the end of the day, if you go and talk about your own personal opinions in a business setting, yeah, now I'm about to be personal with you. You pussy. Because how do you go and tell somebody, oh, I don't feel like you're fit because I have 2 weeks behind with my truck being in the shop that was supposed to be deferred. And you could also take money out of my time off account, which in my time off account, I have $1,700 in my time off account. For 1 week, that's $1,051. You could have said, hey, Frank, I'm taking the money out of this and doing it. Well, I didn't want to do that with this. I wanted to confirm first. What you confirming for? Just take the money out, tell me what my remainder is, and I pay it to you. But you tried to play me. See, this is what I don't get with you people. So now with you people. Oh, this is Transport Enterprise Leasing that we're talking about. So now we're you people. So now it went from being from business, personal, to a race situation. And this ain't me getting on here black, because they have been a good company since I've been with them. But when you have somebody like that has authority with that type of attitude, your business will not go nowhere. That's why they have so many trucks being returned. And on the other end, the guys say we no longer allowing y'all to pay y'all trucks off early, only because we don't have that many trucks in our fleet to allow y'all to do that. And without that, we will not be running. That means y'all need to go get some more trucks. And if y'all change our policy, then you will probably have more drivers. So peep this out. I didn't mean this video to be this long, but we're going to go ahead and break it down. My truck payment, $669 a week. $669 a week. At the end of your truck, it's a 3-year lease. At the end of your lease, you have a buyout payment. $48,000 for my truck. It just depends on what truck you got. So that's $2,676 a month, $32,120 a year. Somebody said in the previous video, they want me to go ahead and break it down. So now I'm about to show you how this be some bullshit. So they told me to take $100 a week from my time off account. That's $48,000 in a year. $250 a week for escrow. That's $12,000 in a year. 25 cents a mile for maintenance. That come up to whatever the fuck. Like I said before, I don't know how they do their calculations, but it's between 25 and then he said some shit like you do such amount of miles and blah, blah, blah. It's like up to 52 cents, 56. Some shit he said like that based on how I was running. So I got 19,000 in my maintenance account, 27,000 in my escrow account. At the end of my lease, that's $96,336. I would have been not paid for that truck, and that's just the lease term. Plus the $48,000 that you have at the end, that's $144,336 at the end of your lease. And that is just truck. Now, they make it mandatory for you to use their insurance, ATBS. You don't have to use them. You don't even have to talk to them people, because I don't. But you still gonna pay for the services, and the only reason they do that is because that's who they file their taxes with. So instead of them coming out of pocket to pay for their own taxes, they're using the drivers to pay that $250 every week so that they can, keep bookkeeping and tax and all that extra stuff, basically just keep up with all the information. So after they add the $250, $100 you take out, then the cent per mile for your maintenance account, I came up to $1,051 a week. That's $4,204 a month, $50,448 a year. All right, multiply that times 3. At the end of your lease, that's $151,000, $344. Plus the $48,000 buyout, that's $199,344. So between the regular payment and then the extra stuff that they tag on, you done spent the extra $55,008 within 3 years, just because of the extras that they want to tag on with it. I'm not saying nothing is wrong with it, but you have an extra $1,500 a month that come out for, your insurance. Let me see. No, your maintenance, escrow, and your time off account. So it's almost like it's not a win-win situation with it. Even when you finish the lease, they want you to go refinance, do this, do that. Once you refinance, you roll over, you know what I'm saying? And this is the reason why I said in my last video, I'm gonna just give the truck back, because when I first got in it, my numbers wasn't there. Me going through the years, I'm not really too much thinking, because as long as my income is straight, I'm not worried about the numbers that I'm spending. But when you have an accountant that constantly keep telling you, like, you're overspending, like most of your income is going to your truck. So fuel, maintenance, time off, escrow, like every week there is something going into your account. So if you do make, let's just say for instance, you made $200,000 in a year. You spent $32,000 just on truck payments for 1 year. So when you go to do these loans and do different funding, they look at that debt to income ratio. So I really had to start watching it. And as I was watching it, it's just like, bro, these numbers don't make sense. But I still dealt with it. What really put the icing on the cake with me is when you don't come to me. You call me over the phone and say, hey, I don't feel like you fit for this, and I'm going to cancel your lease. So you may proceed to get your stuff out of the truck. Nah, this is where the shit hit the fucking, like this is where everything just, so I'm in there, I'm getting my stuff out the truck. I ain't gonna lie, I'm pissed because I feel like you disrespected me over the phone. Like, who do that? Like, you could have said, hey man, we need to have a meeting in the office, but they really not built like that. They not built like that. So after my payment done went through, I'm thinking that he didn't see it when it went through. So while I'm in a truck, I'm unloading everything, blah, blah, blah. The lady come outside and say, hey, they just called and said they released the truck to you. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it is what it is at this point, because he already said what he said. And then still in my mind, I'm like, bro, fuck this shit. And then I got a word from somebody, they're like, bro, you can reverse the charges. So boom, I'm like, shit, let me holler at Navy Federal. They're like, oh yeah, we can definitely do that. Like, in same day reversal. Like, I ain't gotta have to wait no 24 hours or, oh yeah. So I hit Navy Federal, I'm like, reverse that charge since homie wanna be on that dumb shit. I could take my bread somewhere else and make it happen like that. So I get in the truck, he called. I didn't pay attention because I had my headset on. So I hit the headset. I'm like, yeah, what's happening? Because I'm thinking it's probably on me or something. He was like, oh yeah, Frank, I apologize for earlier. This is such and such and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, it's over and done with. It's over and done with. Like, what would you? I apologize. We see you've made the payments and we would like to continue having business. But I said, you the same one that said I wasn't fit for this. And then you want to come back and say, oh, you apologize. Like, no, that's a done deal. And he was like, oh, you reversed the charges. Yes, I did. And I hung up in his face. Like, I don't have time for that. If you don't appreciate my money the same way, or you think you're going to fuck over a driver, and that's one major issue I have when it comes down to truck driving. I could sit at the crib, chill, live my life without worrying about these fuckers. But then as soon as you get in the truck world, it's like, oh yeah, the driver did it. It's the driver. You don't want a truck driver parking here. We can't park here. Truck stops too small. Showers don't work. Hot water don't work. Fuel pumps out. You know what I'm saying? You get to places, no, you can't do a 10-hour break here even though you've been in the door for 14 hours. It's just like, it's always some shit. So, no, if you don't want my business or you want to treat me, sir, I can take my money elsewhere. So appreciate that. That all that money that y'all got right now, sitting in maintenance account and escrows, what they do is they gonna go get that truck, recover that truck. They say the recovery fee is $3,500. I don't see why when the truck is in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and y'all are in Chattanooga, Tennessee, some damn well. So, first of all, recovery ain't that motherfucking high. Then, what they do, they go to wherever, to a mechanic to see what's wrong with the truck. Nothing is wrong with the truck. You can have a truck for 6 months. They gonna find $20,000 worth of fucking issues with their truck just so that they don't have to give you your money back. So I'm already peeping. Y'all got over $40-some thousand of my money. You think I'm about to see any of that? No, I'm not. I'm not really tweaked or even too much caring about it because I wasn't gonna see the money no way. Cause like they tell you, oh, if you wanna use this account to pay your truck off at the end of your lease so you don't have to refinance, they just use the money and just have it as a savings. So by the time you finish, you can either refinance or you can take that money and you still gonna end up putting it towards the truck. That's just how the whole fucking process go. Like I say once again, I'm not knocking these people, but I know when I'm being fucked and I'm not gonna let anybody talk to me any type of way. So with that being said, I just want to keep y'all with the update. I hollered at Long Mountain. They gave me a little, they got some pretty decent deals. I was over there talking to Meadowbrook Truck Sales down there in Savannah. They got good deals or whatever like that, but they kind of like low on the inventory. So most likely we probably end up going to Long Mountain. They're gonna give me a holler back Monday. I already had done picked out a truck and shit like that. I already had done sent out my down payment for my truck. So we will definitely be back active in a matter of days, week, whatever like that. So we'll see how it all boils down. I think she said my truck is, the truck that I pick is actually in Texas. So I had to go out there to Texas, check the truck out, do a little walk around, all that shit. I'll be good to go. So just want to get y'all an update on that, you know what I'm saying? Please like, subscribe, all that. My fault the video down there 20 minutes, but I'll catch up with you on the next one. Yeah.